Hi guys, and welcome to a really short review because there's not really much more that I need to say. I reviewed the Shanling Sono a couple of weeks ago. It's a dual DD plus a single BA with adjustable, well, removable nozzles with different tunings. I reviewed that a couple of weeks ago, and now EARFUN, known for its TWSs, has decided to enter the earphone or IEM game. And for those that still think that all the brands innovate and make something new from scratch and so on and so forth, no. The majority of the brands, and I say this without any problem, the majority of the brands, they go to one of maybe 4 or 5 main factories and get stuff made by those factories for them, which many times are IEMs which are available in multiple brands. The same thing is available under different brands, different names, different everything, and the differences that sometimes exist are minimal, if any. And here is the perfect example. Okay, this is the Shanling Sono. Okay, there we go, Shanling Sono, and this is the EARFUN EH100. It is exactly the same thing. This is not the stock cable, obviously, but this is exactly the same thing. Exactly, they sound the same. They are the same IEM. It's got the adjustable nozzles, the red O-ringed ones, and then the black O-ringed ones, which are the ones that I'm using, which just gives a more balanced out sound. The red emphasizes the bass too much. And that's it. I mean, in terms of the actual box, I can show you just quickly what's inside the box, although really not much to see there. You open it up, it's got this flap. Inside there is the box with the accessories. IEM came over here. It's simple. It's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same IEM. All right, what does that then mean in terms of sound? Here's the back with the characteristics of the one. Okay, here's the back with the characteristics of the other. On this one, you can see that it's actually printed on there. Okay, on here also printed on there. Nothing, it's not a sticker. No, it's exactly the same thing. Okay, exactly the same thing. It just changed slightly the layout, but it's the same thing. All right, anyway, sound. When I reviewed the Shanling a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that it was an IEM that had a different style of tuning, very much dependent, and that also is the same thing over here. I mentioned that it was an IEM that had a nice engaging bass, bass presentation. It was a bit thick, but overemphasized, but it was nice. It was nicely done because it was a quality bass. So it was engaging, it was fun. It wasn't an IEM that you would consider for usage as monitoring or for classical music, no. But overall, what it did give was a nice engaging sound that was very bouncy, very pleasurable to listen to, especially with the black nozzle, which is what I'm running on either one of them. Just very cool, very unfatiguing, very very easy to listen, very fun, easy to listen. I would almost say that this is kind of got an old school vibe going for it, where the main idea here is for fun, for it to have a nice fun sound, definitely V-shaped, big emphasis on the bass, and then an emphasis on the treble. The treble being on the nozzle, you would think it would be a problem. Not really an issue because of all that bass that you have from behind, which helps maybe camouflage some extra or excessive energy that might be present. So overall, it's a nice sounding IEM. It's exactly the same thing as the Sono, like I've mentioned. I compared it at the time with the Rinko, and also with the Richo, the Spring too, and it was the one that ultimately I preferred out of the 3. Not much of a difference between it and the Richo. Those two are kind of trading blows between the two of them, but nice. Just it's a nice IEM. It's not supposed to have a perfect tune with a harmon following, or no. It's just supposed to be fun, and in that aspect they've done it. They've implemented the drivers in a smart manner. They're working nicely. The shell is Beautiful, it's nice and small, very ergonomic, it fits very nicely, no issues with that. It's got a nice long nozzle which allows for a deep fit, which also contributes to the fact that the sound then, although graphically might seem like something you would be worrying about, when you listen to it, it actually does sound way better than the way it graphs. And that's it. I mean, technically it's decent in its technicalities. If you want more details, I would suggest just go back and actually see my review of the Sono, and you'll get the idea about the EARFUN. As for price, it's being, well, they've had some special discount coupons going on, but the price is $79, which look, I guess it's the price they had to sell it for to be able to make some money. It is fair for what it is, but you have the Shanling that you can get it slightly cheaper, so you know, I'll give it this much. It's a nice first try from EARFUN. I'll give them that. You know, they went and chose something which has already been done, which is already in the market. Excuse me, they maybe could have chosen another one to be their first IM, but it's fine. There's nothing really wrong with it. All right. Anyway, guys, I'll just quickly show you the graphs. Really not much to see there, and we'll wrap it up. Hi guys, this is the graph now for the EH100 from EARFUN. Let me just show you first the Sono. This peak that you see here is, for some reason, it just happened because the I've just put it on top, and it doesn't have that peak. The other channel of the Sono actually has slightly less than this channel. The left channel's got a slightly less, but the reality is this: they graph the same. This is more than acceptable left and right differences. The tips I'm using 07 tips, the medium-sized ones. And as for the Graphene itself, thick bass, yes, definitely thick bass. Yes, there's bleed into the mids like I mentioned, but you know what? It sounds nice because the bass has got a good quality. And in the same review of the Sono, I also mentioned the Rinco as the other IM that could be compared with the Sono. And for me, this just walks all over the Rinco in every aspect. The Rinco supposedly has crazy bass. This has way better bass quality and the same, if not more quantity. I actually would even dare say more quantity because it's got properly done mids and highs which are able to keep up with the bass, which is not the case on the Rinco. And as for the rest of the well, everything sits within a window of 85 to 95, 10 dBs. It's definitely a V shape. The mids here of the initial peak of the pin again at 2.5, they basically, you know, stay plateaued. There's a dip here at 5 and some couple related to the peak and then some extension. The BA, contrary to what you would think, actually is not aggressive. It doesn't. It's really been well done. You know what? It's really been well done. This is not, like I mentioned, this is not a Galileo, for example, Electro Galileo, which is all about being precision and no, this is about being fun, well done, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, not all tunings have to be just either you know, diffuse field perfect or Harman perfect or whatever. They just have to be well done. You have to be able to take the earphone, put it in your ears, listen and say, this is nice, this is fun, you know, and that's what they've done here. Okay, anyway guys, as always, like and subscribe. Any questions, please feel free to ask. Take care now, bye bye.